Today we're going to be looking at a chilling experience that was had by an Australian Reddit user who has since deleted their account. If you're new to the channel, I tell stories that have chill vibes, but may just send a chill down your spine as well. That's right, I specialize in spooky stories, mysterious myths, and spectral sagas of ethereal echoes. So if that kind of content interests you, feel free to subscribe. Statistically speaking, none of my subscribers have ever been eaten by a wendigo. Yet. Now back to the story. So this Reddit user, they went on a journey into the heart of the Coorong, which is a captivating coastal lagoon system nestled in South Australia, and a kayaking expedition that promised tranquility, listening to the symphony of the native birds like the elegant parrot or the white-bellied sea eagle, and the gentle lap of water against the kayak's hull, turned into a bone-chilling, nightmarish scenario that they will never forget. Here's their story. I spent 3 days kayaking on the Coorong. I was having a great time and really enjoying the serenity, listening to the native birds and appreciating nature. On the first day, I heard what I could have sworn was a human-like scream. Screeching, I guess? I didn't think much of it and kept paddling. I saw what looked like a body close to the shore and found a seal that had just been severely injured. Honestly, severely injured might be an understatement. This thing was spread all over the beach. No footprints of any kind, just a seal in numerous pieces. After the screeching and the seal, I was a little creeped out, but just continued my trip. Nothing of significant event really happened that night, except that I kept hearing splashes from the water in front of me. Yet when I checked, there was nothing there. The next day I went out again with the same plan. Just paddle until I got tired, then set up camp and go to bed. Unfortunately for me, I got stuck in a mud bog and had to spend a solid hour dragging my kayak across this thing to get to the other side of the water, where I saw a deeper channel and a bunch of sand dunes. After what felt like maybe 40 minutes of struggling with my kayak and this bog, I saw a figure atop one of the sand dunes. Logically, it was probably a random tourist like me, or maybe a kangaroo. I stared at it for a second before getting back to trying to cross this bog. When I looked back, it was gone. A little weird. Anyway, I set up camp for my last night. I was a bit creeped out by the seal, the noises, and now this figure, so I made sure I had my knife with me. I set up my tent a bit away from the water in an open area so I could see everything around me. As I was eating dinner, I couldn't help but feel I was being watched. Since it was a total fire ban in the area, I didn't have a fire, so I couldn't see very much. I just chalked it up to nerves and went for a short walk to explore the area and wander down to the beach. Now for some context. The nearby beach is loud. You can't hear much other than crashing waves, which makes what happened next especially eerie. I heard that unsettling screeching again, and looked back to where I came from. Again, a figure was standing right by the path where I walked to the beach. I decided to stay cautious, pulled out my knife, and approached where I thought I saw this thing. There was nothing there. Just a week-old fish that looked like it had been hung on the fence and forgotten. As I walked back down the path, I heard what sounded like a kangaroo or a wallaby, lightly hopping behind me. But when I looked back, there was nothing there. Honestly, I just climbed into my tent and hoped that there was nothing around. It's kind of anticlimactic, but nothing else really happened. I think I heard that screeching once more, and then I didn't hear it again. Now, apparently, there are a few indigenous graveyards in the area. I'm not one for superstition, but if I'm being honest, this experience really spooked me. I don't think I'll ever forget that trip. Well, that about wraps up my first story. If you like this story in any way, feel free to subscribe. Subscribing's good for you, it's good for me, and I plan to bring you a lot more high-quality, spooky, mysterious stories in the coming weeks. Hopefully many of which you've never heard before. With that being said, thanks for listening. Have a great day, or a very good night.